Last month had some major releases making their way to multiple platforms such as Monster Hunter World making its way to PC finally and Divinity Original Sin 2 coming to console. But this month has a various mix of RPG titles. September includes a franchise celebrating its 30 years with its 4th installment, some action and tactical RPGs. Without further ado, let's get into the month of September. Honorable mention, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. This month's honorable mention is a franchise that spent a long time in the making, starting its reboot in 2013. Shadow of the Tomb Raider marks the end of its reboot trilogy. Square Enix calls this the climactic finale. And while not exactly an RPG, this one is worth a mention as we get a closer look at the origin of the legendary Lara Croft. The game follows Lara on her journey through South America facing the Evil Trinity organization, as well as exercising a few of her personal demons. Players will face some of the most challenging puzzles yet, if they choose, as you will be able to select different modes for combat, exploration, and puzzles. While Lara's dual pistols won't be making their iconic return in this one, there is plenty of action, some light RPG elements, and exploration added into the mix. This isn't the end of Lara Croft's journey, but it is the end of the trilogy. Expect this one to go out with a bang. Shadow of the Tomb Raider will be releasing on September 14th on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. At number 5, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Torna: The Golden Country expansion. A new expansion for Xenoblade Chronicles 2 focuses on the antagonist Jin's birthplace, Torna, a prequel story that spans hundreds of years before the main game. It delves into the depths of the game lore. This expansion focuses on Laura and her blade Jin, as well as their allies as they fight against the evil threat of Malus, who wields the legendary sword, the Manador. Players must master every character's powerful skills including talents arts, a strategic element from the original Xenoblade Chronicles game. By equipping drivers with new weapons, players can perform attacks and use elemental powers to deliver devastating combos. In a combat system that lets you control both driver and blade while you carry out your attacks based on positioning in battle, the chapter will take you on a journey where you rest at camps, cook food, craft items, and experience your adventure with your trusty traveling companions. Who knows where the road will take you next? Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Torna: The Golden Country DLC will release exclusively on Nintendo Switch on September 14th, 2018. At number 4, The Bard's Tale 4. This year marks the 30th anniversary of The Bard's Tale 3, Thief of the Fates. Having a release of a new title this year is a way to commemorate this milestone. The Bard's Tale 4 is a first-person party RPG following the series' well-known formula. But with the latest title, a major upgrade has been given in terms of visuals using Unreal Engine 4. Exploring the world of Caith, influenced by Scotland, players will take on quests, dungeon crawlers, and puzzle solving, featuring a story from Wasteland 2's writer Nathan Long, and is brought to life by Jed Grimes, the musician of Simple Minds. Players will be able to craft their own characters with a choice of bard, fighter, or rogue to choose from, with 60 to 70 skills for each archetype. Recruit your companions, customize their skills and gear as you build a playstyle to suit you. Unlock mysteries and over 200 demanding puzzles with some rewarding items to gain. In turn-based combat, players must use a variety of gems, spells, buffs, and weapons as they strategically take out their opponents. The Bard's Tale 4 Barrows Deep is set to release on September 18, 2018 for PC, with its release on console later this fall 2018. At number 3, Pathfinder Kingmaker. Pathfinder Kingmaker is a role-playing game based on Paizo's Pathfinder franchise. Owlcat, the developer, sets to bring the pen and paper game into the RPG format. After a successfully funded Kickstarter campaign, the title will explore a rich storyline which will rely on decisions that the players must make. The story is set in the Stolen Lands, part of the greater region of the River Kingdoms. The River Kingdoms are part of Golarion, which might be familiar to those who have played previous Pathfinder games before. Players will have to survive this harsh mythical land in order to conquer, build, and rule. Using your best judgment, learn to defend yourself and your people against the evildoers and beasts preying on your kingdom. Choose from 10 different classes: Alchemist, Barbarian, Bard, Cleric, Druid, Fighter, Inquisitor, Magus, Monk, Paladin, and Rogue. Each have their own specialities which can be chosen in character creation. Each class has a set of archetypes to choose from. Combat in Pathfinder Kingmaker is turn-based tactical, meaning players will make their moves while the game is paused and watch them play out as the game resumes. Pathfinder Kingmaker sets to release on PC on September 28, 2018, and is available for pre-order through Steam and GOG. At number 2, Valkyria Chronicles 4. Valkyria Chronicles 4 story is set in the year of 1935 EC. in the continent of Europa, where alliances are split between the Federation and the Empire. The commander, Claude Wallace of Squad E, must test his bond with his allies as they struggle to triumph on the battlefield during a time of war. In this coming-of-age story, players must journey through blizzards and Imperial soldiers. The fourth game in the series, Valkyria Chronicles 4, brings the next generation of Battle of Live Tactical Zones, or Blitz battle system. Using turn-based strategy, the Blitz system is a unique combination of part RPG and part real-time third-person shooter. Players will engage in battle as the threat of the Imperial units gain more ground. With larger maps than any Valkyria games before, there will be much to explore. Debuting in this installment is the offensive and defensive explosive new unit called the Grenadier, making options numerous for battle support. Valkyria Chronicles 4 will be releasing on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch and PC on September 25th. At number 1, Immortal Unchained. The sci-fi horror Immortal Unchained is locked and loaded as Toadman Interactive are ready to release it this September. The Dark Souls-inspired action RPG sets out to be the first hardcore person shooter of its kind. This sci-fi horror resembles a mix of Mass Effect, Dark Souls 2, and Warhammer 40k. Immortal Unchained is set in a dying universe known as the Nine Worlds. As the sun grows dark, the dead are rising. Players take on the role of a being who has spent a large amount of time in an immortal prison. You are released with the purpose of stopping the undead from continuing to threaten the world. All hopes relies on this unlikely hero. Will you be able to save the universe from the undead? Choose from a range of over 100 weapons from spears, submachine guns, sniper rifles and more. Take on hardcore action in challenging experiences that will test your skill and tenacity. Discover a decaying world that has drawn inspiration from all the best sci-fi and horror. Immortal Unchained will release on PlayStation 4, Xbox One and PC on September 7th, 2018. That's a wrap for the top RPGs of September. Did I miss your favourite September release? What games are you most looking forward to this year? Let us know in the comments below.